I'm Stephen Kulik. I'm the state representative from the 1st Franklin District in the town of Worthington, where I live, in western Massachusetts.
Peter Kokot, state representative, 1st Hampshire District, Northampton, Southampton, Westhampton, Montgomery, and Hatfield.
Matthew Meritori, state rep for the 1st Plymouth District.
My name is Senator Jason Lewis, and I represent the 5th Middlesex District, which includes Malden, Melrose, Reading, Stoneham, Wakefield, and Winchester.
Joan Lovely, the state senator for the 2nd Essex District, that's Beverly, Danvers, Peabody, Salem, and Topsfield.
My name is Don Humison. I'm the state senator from the 2nd Hamden and Hampshire District, which is pretty much most of western Massachusetts.
I filed a bill, I believe, at the request of Common Cause several years ago. It went through various forums, various hearings, but this past session was our most successful effort to move that bill forward.
Well, I was proud to file the legislation in the state Senate, and the reason I filed the bill is because I believe that having accessible and affordable access to public records is really fundamental to our democracy. It's pretty fundamental to having a government that is accountable to the citizenry and that is transparent to the people of Massachusetts.
Your organization did a great job pointing out the failures that we had at our system and how awful it was for groups that tried to get records and couldn't, or for whom there were many, many roadblocks put into place. And I think when confronted with that, we recognized that something just had to be done.
This public records bill had not been, our law had not been updated in over 40 years. So think about it, 40 years ago we didn't have the internet, we didn't have the speed at which we like to gain access to information, and so it really needed a complete overhaul.
You know, a public records law that doesn't work is not of any value to anybody. So I'm really delighted because it had been about 40 years since this law had been reviewed and revised and modernized, and we were way out of line with what was happening in the rest of the country.
We wanted to make sure that every citizen had easy access to records that they had already paid for. And there was no reason when an individual made a request for a public record that they had to pay an exorbitant fee or wait for a very long period of time.
Yeah, it was a great honor to be part of this group. I think being a former selectman and promoting open sessions like this and really promoting transparency in what we do, I think it was huge for this institution, and I hope it does lead down the road to more, open discussions and input from the public.
I'd like to really thank Chair Kokot. This is something which he worked on for hours. He took a personal interest in making sure that we came to a good resolution. And I also want to thank some of the other folks, like the folks at the ACLU, and most importantly, I think Common Cause and Pam Wilmot in particular. Without, I think, their parting, I'm not sure if we would have ever gotten done in the manner that it got done.
Common Cause was really instrumental in the effort to pass this legislation. I view Common Cause as really the leading organization that's working for better government in Massachusetts, more accountable government, more transparent government. And really from the beginning of the process all the way through, Common Cause was there to educate my colleagues and to really make the case for why we needed to update and reform our public records law in Massachusetts.
It's great to have a group out there whose goal is to keep us honest, to keep us open, to keep us transparent, and to make sure that we always have, we as members of the legislature, always have an organization to go to because you are so on top of things and can act as a resource, an excellent resource that we use a lot, especially in this process. But I think it's important. I think it's also important to give our constituents an opportunity to be able to know that Common Cause exists, that they can participate and be involved and know that you're out there.
Groups like Common Cause are important in terms of not only restoring confidence in government and trying to help explain the processes that are involved, not only in the legislative process, but at town meeting and in other points in which the public accesses government. But Common Cause is important because they help explain it. They help explain the issues in terms that people can comprehend, and they're experts. I rely upon Common Cause for a variety of issues, but in particular on this bill.
Well, I'd like to thank people for being involved in Common Cause and supporting its work. It's gone on now for many decades, and the organization is strong because people care about it, people participate. As an elected official, I feel that people who are involved in Common Cause are always watching what we do, which is important. So I'm just grateful we have an organization like Common Cause that's really a public interest organization that promotes democracy, promotes inclusion, promotes participation in our electoral and democratic process. And, it makes our job as elected officials a lot easier, and it makes us feel like we're doing something people are paying attention to.
I've always found Common Cause to be a great resource in making sure that good piece of legislation becomes a piece of legislation that we can be proud of as a legislature, and a piece of legislation citizens of the Commonwealth can be proud as well.
I would just like to say thank you again to Common Cause for, again, participating not only on this issue, but the many issues that they bring to the State House and the many constituencies that they represent. They're really an integral piece of what we do up here. So I want to say thank you to them again, and I look forward to working on the next bill.